So we move to Game 3 of the tournament. It's my army versus a Vampire Count's army. This opponent I've played once before, just a little bit ago, if you follow my battle reports. And the last time we played, he just absolutely slaughtered me. And so I was really hoping I would do better this game than I did last time against him. So let's see, on the far right, he's got some of his dogs. He's got a BSB and his Vampire Lord out all by themselves. 5 Black Knights. Looks like 10 skeletons, another group of, I can't really tell, 10 or 15 skeletons, and there's an unpainted model in there that is a vampire character. There's a corpse cart behind him, and then some crypt ghouls on the left. Fell bats, those, you can see he has some wraiths with a banshee. Looks like he has 4 wraiths, and then the far left he has his Vargolf. So on my far right, I stick my big bus of Knights Errant way out there, and then my Grail Knights, and I put my Damsel with my Grail Knights this time. It's kind of an odd deployment for me, but the terrain on my side of the board really limited my options. If you look at, there's the space there on the left side of the screen, that's some impassable terrain, so there's a small gap between that and the house, and then a small gap at the far right, and so I felt like I was kind of limited. So I put my skirmishing bowmen behind the impassable terrain. We decided they could see over it. There in the middle, I put 3 blocks that I felt had the best chance of holding things up in the middle should I need them to. So I've got 23 men-at-arms, 5 Questy Knights, and my Grail Relic on the far left. And my BSBs behind them just to give them rerolls. And I put my Fast Cav just to the left of the impassable terrain, kind of on the right side of the screen, to give me some redirects should I need them with his Black Knights. So put the Trebuchet on the hill. I have my 7 Knights of the Realm. Usually, in previous games this tournament, they've been 9 strong, but that's because my BSB and my Damsel was with that unit. So there on the hill, I've got my General on the hill looking down at the Vargolf and at the Wraiths, and my Pegasus Knights securing my left flank. So it was just awkward deployment. I felt like I just had no space to put things where I want them. I do like having my Trebuchet on the hill. I'd like to get his corpse cart out of the way, and I'd like to be able to pick on his general or something. So turn 1, he moves the dogs up just a little bit. I think he's, just by that move, I think he's just going to try to march block me and be a nuisance to my 2 units on the right. He takes his 2 characters, puts them in the Black Knights unit, and now that has turned into kind of a Death Star. I didn't know it at the time, but it turns out the BSB has the regen banner. So you've got a 2-up armor save with a regen, with a Vampire Lord that has the lance that auto hits at strength 7 on the charge, and all wounds that go through give him that many more attacks. So that's, it's hard to beat it through combat res because he has regen saving him from that. It's hard to get wounds through, and he's going to do plenty of wounds. So I don't know how to combat that, and it's going to be tough to just try to redirect him out of the fighting because he's coming right down the middle of the board. Anyway, you can see he's moving his troops up a little bit. His wraiths are hiding behind that. We've decided that's a building. And he's hanging back with his Vargolf just out of charge reach of my general. During the magic phase, 2 things happen. One, my Fast Cav gets blown to bits, so they're out of the game, and then he raises a small unit of zombies up. So my turn 1. On the right side, I move up really as far as I could, with the exception of, on my Grail Knights, I didn't want to offer my flank to the dogs, because even though they're not really that tough, a flank charge can be bad. Otherwise, I'm taking my other units up, and I'm thinking if I get 2 of those units into his Black Knights, especially if one of them is my Grail Relic, I can beat the auto break syndrome and hold once. And if I can hold them up, then my Grail Knights can come in and get a flank charge, and I might even have a chance of doing some harm there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I bring my Pegasus Knights and my Knights of the Realm that were kind of to the left. I'm bringing them more to the middle to provide support. So really what I'm thinking is I'm not going to be able to avoid the Black Knights. I need to just find a way to deal with them, and if I can deal with them, I can pick apart the rest of his army relatively easy. Relative being a relative term, of course. Here I'm content just to hang back with my general. If he moves his Wraiths into sight or his Vargolf, I'm going to charge either one, and I'm happy to do so, and I'm happy just to hang out otherwise. If anything I would have done differently, I would have moved him onto the hill, but yeah, either way, whatever. So my skirmishing bowmen shoot his dogs to make them a little bit less of a nuisance, and just because I'll probably forget it later, they shoot at him next turn and kill the other two. So those dogs really never become an issue in the game. So VC turn 2, he moves his dogs up to march block. He hangs back with his Black Knights so that his infantry can move up, and now that's pretty smart, because now if I hold him in combat, he's going to get to countercharge me and auto break me before I have a chance to have my Grail Knights come in. So I thought that was a pretty smart move. Brings his bats up, tempting my lord to charge him, and if I don't, he's going to charge my trebuchet or something else. And he kills a questing knight. So because he killed that questing knights, my Pegasus Knights could see his Black Knight. So I decided probably the best thing to do is just go ahead and charge with everything I had. By the way, the Men-at-Arms, you can see they charged the zombies. I tried to charge them on my last turn, but I failed my fear test, so I finally passed it. So they're charging. The Pegasus Knights, it was kind of a miscalculation. It turned out that only 2 were in range, and that hurts because I was really counting on a bunch more attacks, trying to get just some things through to hurt that unit. You can see my Grail Knights behind those Black Knights, so if I could find any possible way to hold out there, I could bring in some help. Over on this side, I decided to go ahead and charge the bats with my lord, and I was thinking originally I would do it such that I could overrun towards the Wraith. I think that's what I was thinking. Anyway, whatever, I had to charge the nearest bat, and so I did it to where I was facing the Vargulf, and I was just going to try to get a long overrun and hopefully maybe get into them if I beat them in combat. The best thing that would happen if I beat them, but if there's still one remaining to protect me from a Vargulf charge. So this is the result of the fight. My Questing Knights and Pegasus Knights charge in and do absolutely 0 wounds. I didn't fluff all my hits. He just made a lot of armor saves and his regen saves. So they auto-broke me in combat, pursued, and went straight into my Grail Relic, which is going to be bad, because all he has to do is kill 6 guys, and he will outnumber me. And once he outnumbers me, my Stubborn doesn't do me any good. If I can not lose too many, then on my turn, because we'll fight this on his next turn, on my turn I can countercharge with Men-at-Arms to the flank and get some combat res to help out. But I'm skeptical that I'm going to lose less than 6 guys with his Vampire Lord in there. So this happened really about as well as I could have hoped for. He's down to 1 bat with 1 wound, and his Vargulf can't see me to charge. So that's nice. So then we move on to Vampire Counts turn 3.